We're back with Henry Hutcheson of Family Business USA. And you know, I've been in family businesses before, and it was very difficult sometimes to work with relatives and especially be their boss. We did have somebody come in and work with us because it made it easier for me and for them, I think.
Right.
Has there been a situation, is there a company that you're still working with for long periods of time? Do you still have clients that stay with you through the years, or is it like a certain time frame and then you walk away? Is that what it's like?
It's funny because, and you'll get this after I say this, but my clients will typically, when I work with a family business, I'll say, look, let's work for 6 months together, and I'll put a plan together, and let's see where we get, and let's see if we can get to where we need to go. Right. Sometimes it goes a little longer, what have you. But then a question always comes up that says, you know, will you still be available after? And the answer is, until I'm dead, I'm always available.
That's right.
And so once you've had that engagement, once you've worked, because when you're working with a family in a family business, you develop a very strong relationship with them. It gets personal. They become your friends, and I become their friend. Most of my clients, when I go to see them, I stay at their house. I don't stay in a hotel.
Well, you know, that's the funny thing too. My clients are like that, and they feel very secure, and I'm very honest and very frank with them, and I say that from the very beginning because I really believe that you have to be, especially in the business that I'm in.
Right.
And what they look like, that appearance is really important because if they're going to be on television or they're going to represent the company.
Right.
I hate seeing shadow-faced guys on TV. I mean, seriously, I think it looks unkept. You know, and it's hard for me
That's why
sometimes.
Nixon lost the election.
Right.
Yeah.
And who lost the election?
Nixon, when he went against Kennedy, he hadn't shaved.
Oh, he hadn't
apparently,
shaved
and
in a couple of weeks or something,
yeah.
right? Is that why he lost?
I don't know that's why he lost, but that was part
That's
of the
right. But, you know, I think, do you have to ever talk to them about that, appearances?
You know, it is one of the trickier. I have encountered that. That's more of a business situation, is that the answer is yes. It's awkward because people want to have their own expression, their own style, and so on and so forth. A lot of times that can come through just standard HR protocol. We deal with the public. We need to put forth a certain image, and having that certain image, you know, means that you need to come with clean clothes, and you have to wear a belt, and you know, you need to appear a certain way. And it's not a particular person, so typically you start at a broad level and say, hey, we have to have a nice appearance. You get it documented down. But yes, sometimes you have to confront people and say, hey, look, if you're going to dress like this, then we're not going to be able to put you in this position. We're going to have to put you in the back, and so on and so forth. Do
companies today have a dress code anymore?
Obviously, it's gotten a lot more flexible. It's interesting. When I was at IBM, when I first started at IBM, you had to have a blue suit and a red tie. I had to dress a particular way. And then when I left and I came back, when I went to business school and I came back, it had completely changed. And there were people walking around the campus with flip-flops and cutoffs and so on and so forth. And I had this mindset that you can't dress like that. This is a professional company, and we're IBM, and you need to dress appropriately. But the fact of the matter is, and it's hard for, I'm going to say, our generation to realize some of this, but when you have the top computer programmer from Stanford or MIT working at your company, and you're paying them a lot of money, and they're very good at what they do, and they're in a back room, if they want to wear shorts and flip-flops, that's okay. You're not going to get to meet the customers. But if you're going to sit in your back room and you want to dress casually, as long as you're clean, you can dress however you want.
What's been the most difficult situation you've ever encountered without revealing the company?
Boy, that is tricky because I've had a lot of them. I've had so many of them.
The weirdest thing?
Probably one of the most challenging. Connecting the two together, and it's something a lot of people don't really realize, is mental disorder, chemical dependency, drug dependency, so on and so forth. So here's the deal. And again, I'll use IBM because I worked there. If I showed up to work and I had been drinking, I'm being sent home immediately if somebody found out. Why? Because the company is liable. If Henry Hutcheson hurts somebody, has an accident, so on and so forth, I'm an IBM employee, the corporation is held responsible and accountable, I have to leave. Now, do I have a drinking problem? I don't know. There are options. Henry, either you can't work here anymore because you have a drinking problem, or you need to go get help and then come back and maybe we'll help you with this. I don't know what IBM's policy is. I never encountered it. But when you're a publicly traded corporation, you can't tolerate that. So now let's turn to a family business. Well, it's my son, and he's very bright, he's very motivated, he's very good at this, and he's my exit plan. I want him to take over the business one day. And then there's my other kids and nieces and nephews and so on and so forth. So if he shows up a little bit late some days, it's okay. He was, having fun with his friends. Okay, so he was drinking a little bit. It's very easy when you have your own business, a family business,
Right.
to sweep problems under the rug. Mental disorder is a very big one. Narcissism, bipolar disorder, depression, things like that. It's difficult because it can also start to affect performance in the business. Family businesses tend to want to sweep that under the rug and not address it. That's some of the situations that we have to get involved in, have to confront, and have to try to get corrected.
Do you think sometimes in family businesses that parents expect the younger generation to take over, and that it could cause those type of problems, depression, alcoholism, because they don't want to do it?
It could, but I don't typically see that. But I mean, you do see, what you see is, the dad really wants the son to do this, but maybe the son really doesn't want to do it, but is going along with it because he doesn't want to disappoint his father, for example. And then there's the opposite, which is very common, where Dad, I really want to do this, and please let me be in charge, and I want to take this over one day. But there are questions. I'm not seeing the level of performance. I'm not convinced that you're really cut out and capable to do this, but I don't want to hurt your feelings, so I keep giving you opportunities, and so on and so forth. We had one fascinating engagement of that particular nature. The son was very good, and so on and so forth, but the dad was not convinced. And the mom, who didn't work in the business, was putting a lot of pressure on the husband to say, you need to keep, he needs to be the one. And over time, we came to realize that the reason the son was doing this was because of the expectation of the mother really wanting him to do this. In reality, he didn't really want to lead the company. He was interested in pursuing other things in his life. I'd like to work here. I'd like to help the company. But I really don't want to be the guy that runs the company in all reality. I'd rather do other things. And so that big revelation came out. The interesting thing is that now that that's gotten out on the table, he's actually become a better employee. And they had a daughter who was not working at the company, who was skyrocketing career. Turns out that she's the one that was the most appropriate to run the business. So they've brought her in. The son's happy, the dad's happy, everybody's happy. A lot of times you don't look at those family members that are not working at the business, because you can bring them in, and they are available, and you should look over there sometimes.
And on that note, Henry, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Henry Hutcheson. Give your website out, please.
FamilyBusinessUSA.com.
And don't forget about your book.
My book, Dirty Little Secrets of FamilyBusiness.com.
And we'll be right back on Born Before 64 after these messages.
For more information on our show, check out our website at www.bornbefore64.com.